lives, there's like a big button saying go live, and I press it and I'm live, but that didn't happen. I couldn't find any thank you. Please don't worry. Okay. I'm doing my best here, trying to reply to all the people feeling confused. But I'm thinking let's start now. Thank you so much for your patience, and I am really happy that all of you are here. So my name is Filippa, if you have not met me before. Yeah, today we're going to talk about the biggest mistake I see in healing, or when women are healing, including myself, when I was healing my pelvic floor. And I am very passionate about this because I've now spent about 4 years working with women, thousands of women, and I see the same pattern over and over again. And I really, really want to contribute to more healing happening. And I think maybe tonight that will happen, or today if you are in the States or in another time zone. So my name is Filippa, and I had pelvic floor dysfunction about 5 years back, 6 years back. I got it. It was extremely life-limiting for me. I had a cystocele grade 3. I had a rectocele grade 2. I had extreme vaginal wideness, and I had hemorrhoids, and my life was over. The healthcare suggested surgery, but I felt that was not the way for me to walk that path. So I decided to walk another path. And after 2 years, I was symptom-free, consistently symptom-free, and have been now for over 4 years. And since then, I also started Moonrise, and together with my husband, who is a big supporter. And yeah, I've been working with women mostly online, but also offline. And I'm just going to share I actually have a presentation. Let's see. Is this what you see now? Let's see. Tech issues. Not my favorite kind of issues. So let's see. Yeah, and I think maybe more and more people are finding the link now. Just gonna let them in. I'm sorry about this. Okay, now let's try to share. And now, did I freeze? Can you hear me still? Okay, yeah, this is right. I don't know why this is so extremely slow. I hope you can still hear me, and I hope you can see my slides. Can someone just do like a thumbs up? Because I don't see the chat now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so, oh my God, this slide is in Swedish. I didn't translate it. Sorry, I'm going to translate it for you. If it will change. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe I should have looked at like the stars and how they aligned because this does not seem to be my evening to have an online presentation. Why is it not? Yeah, okay. So uh the I forgot to translate the the main sentence here. So I can now today do everything that they told me not to do. I don't know about you, all of you, but for me, I got a list from my midwife with things I should not be doing because of the prolapses. So, for example, lifting heavy, squatting, running, etc. And that just made me so much more scared and in a state of freeze, especially in my nervous system. Um, so not only did I feel like as if I had extremely limited capability in my own body, but I was also so scared because of all the experts telling me what I could or could not do. So yeah, since 4 years back, I am able to lift my kids. I can run, I can jump, I can dance, I can be intimate, and much more. I mean, feeling free in your body is, I think, for me at least, what I missed the most when I had the symptoms. So yeah, that means like of course, I wanted to also not feel the symptoms, but what the symptoms made me feel and how they affected my nervous system was actually a bigger part than the symptoms themselves. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you right away what the biggest mistake is that I see when women are trying to heal naturally. And it is to not see it as a project. And what does this mean? This is so our culture, our society really looks at productivity in a way that is glorifying it. And I mean, it's great to be able to be productive and to be able to be like a project manager if you are working, if you are a mother, if you, anything that you're going to do, it's a great skill, definitely. But it's not working when it comes to natural healing. Natural healing will not be a linear project where you put in X amount of energy, resources, money, whatever, like the ROI will be this. Like it won't automatically be better or more successful immediately. Natural healing is something completely different. And because many women, most women, maybe all women are people pleasers in one way or another, because that's also how we work. We want to support, we want to take care of, and usually on the priority list, like we are the last people. And because we are taking care of everyone else, putting ourselves aside, then when it comes to if we have like a minute or two, or maybe by the end of the day, we want to be effective with that time that we may be able to actually put into our healing. But if it's just like a thing you check off on your list, or if it's, if it's something that you do from your brain that seem logical, or, you have some kind of expert telling you what to do, that's not healing. Because only you can heal you. No one else can heal you. you have the keys to your own healing. And I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of suggestions. I have a lot of methods. I can hopefully inspire you. I can share. I can do many things to support you on your healing journey, but no one else is going to heal you. And this is the paradigm shift that needs to be happening if you want to heal naturally. We are so conditioned to go to an expert, like especially with health. As soon as something is wrong with you, you go to a doctor. They will tell you what is wrong with you and what options you have moving forward. And usually those options are more about covering symptoms than actually go to the root cause of the problem. And this is where we need to change. If we really want to be pioneers in a paradigm shift of making healing pelvic floors possible, we need to start to take responsibility for our own bodies as if they were newborn babies. So we need to really listen to our bodies and creating space for them to communicate with us. So today I am going to go over 3 themes that I picked. 3 keys, so to speak, to be able to start to shift the perspective of healing, looking at it as a project, going from looking at it as a project to actually start to heal. Yeah. So we're going to go over those 3 themes, and I hope that you will get a better picture of what I am talking about. I do want to hear your questions, and I've saved some minutes by the end of the session where I am going to respond to any questions. So if you have any questions, you can write them in the chat already now, or you can save them till toward the end by the presentation. Okay, so the first one, which is so important. Yeah, so I also want to mention that, I've really seen, I told you in the beginning, like I just want to clarify that I see a great distinction between women who can apply this type of healing mindset compared to the ones who see healing as a project. And yeah, so the ones who have a more, what I call healing mindset, will have better results, will heal faster, will heal more than they almost imagined from the beginning. So the first one, can you see this? Or like, because for me, you are like your camera. Yeah, maybe this is better. I don't know what you see. I'm sorry. The first one is to let go of stress. And this is easier said than done, of course. Like, I think you are all aware of how stress is impacting your health, nervous system, and maybe even pelvic floor. Maybe some of you can feel a difference in symptoms if you are stressed or if you're not. I could definitely on when I was healing. If I was stressed, if I was tired, if I was overdoing stuff, immediately I got that like in my face from my pelvic floor that like you need to step back and you cannot live like this. And the thing is, more than that, stress will cause stagnation in the body. Stress will make the body tensed, start to tensing up. And this will also create tension or adhesions in our fascia. And if we don't have flow in the body, we can't heal. Flow is equal to healing. We don't want stagnation in any part of the body, preferably, but especially not in the pelvic floor when we are trying to heal the pelvic floor. So from my point of view, stagnation or adhesions, tension in the pelvic floor is the root cause to dysfunction in the pelvic floor. So we need to start to let go of that stress. We need to start to help the body, support the body to feel more aliveness, more vital, and to really experience that flow. And we can do that in many different ways. I actually wanted to do a quick exercise for you to feel the difference when you are actually present in your body and when you are maybe not as present in your body. Maybe you're present in your head, like you're listening right now, you're taking in new information or old information, but you are like you're working in your brain. So we're not really in our bodies now. And I want to take us down into our bodies because that's the first step in healing. So if you have the space and if you can join, you're welcome. I'm going to stand up. You can do it seated. And we're gonna just do some tapping on the body. So we're gonna start on one side and we're gonna use the hands on this foot and just start to tap all the way up the leg and then down. Yeah. All the way up and down a couple of times. Also remember the foot. Good. And then your bum. Maybe you take your fist and just do around your hip. When you come to the belly, we don't want to like be too intense. So you can just do some circles. And then let's continue on the rib cage. Taking the opposite hand now and coming up all the way over the breast onto the chest on one side. So same side as you have been working with. And then taking your hand onto the other arm, shoulder first, and then your arm. Up and down a couple of times. And then your upper back, if you can reach. Good. And then maybe just a little bit of massaging on the neck. And then if you can do some tapping like with your fingertips on one side of your skull. All the way back. So half your body. And just gently in your face. Half your face.
I'm coming. I just wanted to get these hung up before they get wrinkled.
So if everybody can please mute yourself. Okay. And now let's just let the arms hang alongside the body, just closing the eyes for a moment. And notice now if you feel any difference on your left side to your right side. Just breathing here. So for me, I feel my right side, which is the one I was tapping on, feel more alive, more expansive, more vital, more like big and soft at the same time. My left side feels much more rigid, more compact, less alive, actually not alive at all, like more hard. I'm just telling you my words that I put on the two sides, and maybe this resonates with you and you can also feel that, or maybe you have other words to put, or maybe you're like, there's no difference. And that's okay. So taking one deep breath into the rib cage. Exhale, and then we're going to do the other side to make it even. So you can start now with the other foot and leg all the way up. So the fascia loves this type of work. The fascia loves things like tapping, rocking, what do you call it? Yeah, rocking. And then we continue here. Sorry, I'm just looking for the words. So the fascia loves other types of activation than, for example, our muscles. So we need to give the body that. And then we come to the belly, just give it a few strikes. And then your rib cage all the way up. Coming to the shoulder and the arm. So this is not only affecting our fascia, our nervous system, our muscles. It's also making us calm. So a part of the nervous system, which is called the parasympathetic nervous system, you massage your neck a little bit and then move on to tapping your head and face. So even though, and you can continue to tap, I'm gonna end my session and you can just kind of give your body some stroking. So even though we are focusing on the pelvic floor, we need to include the whole body and we need to let go of stress. In general, I think many of you are aware that we have too high cortisol levels in the body, which will affect all the systems in the body, the fascia system, the immune system, the nervous system, the hormonal system, and so on. So what high cortisol does is that it will create stagnation. It will not have a harmony effect in the body. So this is kind of the first step, to have your own ways to let go of stress. And the other one is kind of hooking on to the first one, rest more. I just think that it's such a clear message from the universe, if you may, that more than 50% of women have pelvic floor dysfunction. And what is it that you want to do when you have pelvic floor dysfunction? Most ladies that I talk to, they just want to lay down because they won't feel that heaviness, or the pain will ease, or you'll just feel more fine when you lay down. And sorry, something happened with the screen. Okay, you're there. I was like, did I lose you all now? So if we look in society, we know that stress is very high and that people are not resting enough or resting well. So I just feel it's such a clear sign that we all just need to lay down more, and especially women with pelvic floor dysfunction. And this could be, just taking out a couple of minutes every day, putting a pillow under your hips, elevating your hips so that gravity is not pulling on your pelvic floor. That will ease things up. And of course, if you have more time to rest, wonderful. Integrating rest as a part of your self-care or of your daily schedule is crucial. We need to rest more. And there are techniques, of course, that can help you with that, different types of meditations, yoga nidra, etc. And if you can integrate that, that's wonderful. And you need to make sure that you sleep, you can go into deep sleep, because that is healing time for the pelvic floor and the body. Like the body is in healing mode when we are sleeping. So we really need to create that space and practice rest so that we know how to rest deeply to reset all the systems in our bodies. And then we have the last one. Healing is not linear. I was just touching on this briefly. So healing, I love this quote from one of my teachers who told me that there's no straight lines in nature, right? There are no straight lines. In nature, we see waves, we see spirals, we see all kind of different patterns, but we never see like a complete straight line. And that is true for natural healing too. It will never happen in a linear way. And we don't know how to work with something that is not moving forward in a straight line, because everything we've been doing, from education to work to investments to building a family, like everything is kind of moving in a linear pattern. So when we suddenly are faced with a process that is moving in a wave-like motion, we don't think that we can do it. That's the general thing that happens, including myself. I was like, the first time I had a healing crisis, I thought that I was not even back on square one. I was on like square minus 100. I was so depressed by, experiencing that the symptoms went away and then suddenly, boom, back, and almost worse than ever. And I just wish that I had someone to tell me that this is actually a sign of progress, which is not at all logic in our brains. But we need to count with those ups and downs. And of course, over time, we want to see more and more progress so that we are moving toward our goal, definitely. But yeah, it may be a spiral on the way. It may be like a really high top and then a really low down. And, also because healing is so dependent on what is happening in our lives. So if we are like suddenly, if something happens, if it's a really stressful or traumatic situation, that will also affect our pelvic floor and also affect how the process is developing. So to be able to deal with this non-linear process that we are not used to, we need to build muscles for that, mainly here, mainly in our head, in our mind. And that takes time. And when we start to experience these ups and downs, we will over time be better in handling those moments. It's super, even if I tell you this and you have not been on a healing journey at all, you haven't tried, And now you're like, okay, I want to try. Even if you know this, and I have told you this, and you know it here in your brain, it's going to be super hard to experience it. And we need that experience. It's included in the healing journey. Like no one is going to escape it. I haven't met anyone so far. I mean, it would be amazing if someone cracked the code. Let us know, all of us, how to do it without having those dips. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So those three things I think are some of the most important keys to healing. And yeah, here's another Swedish slide. I was really bad at translating this, I'm sorry. But now it's time for your questions. So maybe I should try to open the chat. I don't know if I can do that when I am presenting. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here. Okay, yeah, so no questions yet. We had a sharing here from the exercise. I feel lighter, that's nice. If anyone wants to write anything in the chat or turn on your microphone, and you don't need to put on your camera, but please go ahead.
Philippa?
Yes.
Hi, question.
Yes.
As an older woman, does it take longer for the healing journey back to balance?
Great question. I can't say that I've seen it take longer in general. It's how much time it takes is more dependent on your capability of having a healing mindset. I would say that's definitely the challenge, or the one factor that can speed your healing up. And no, I've seen, great results within weeks for women in their 70s, 80s. I once worked with a lady who was 93 and she had great progress, which I think is so inspiring that she chose to invest in her body. So yeah, was that
Yes,
answering your
thank you.
question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? No more questions. Is it true? Yeah, I'm gonna wait one more minute just in case.
Hi Philippa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. I can't seem to turn my video on. I don't know why. I'm just being a bit of a tech phobe.
That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you because I actually went to a pelvic health physio a year after having my daughter, so quite recently, and I guess I'm fortunate that I don't have any symptoms as such, but the pelvic health physio sort of saw that I had two prolapses, which I wasn't aware of, so it was quite a big, I guess, big surprise really, because I haven't really got any symptoms. So I guess my journey at the moment is trying to just keep up with things to try and stop getting, or not, trying to avoid having symptoms. And I guess one of the questions, it feels like people talk about it like you can keep the symptoms at bay or try and work at trying to stop the symptoms. But I guess my question is, can you fully take the prolapses away, if that makes sense? I guess that's maybe you're saying yes, you can. But I think, yeah, everything you said really resonates with me, and I think I really loved your visualization on your YouTube site as well. Like that actually made me feel quite emotional watching that, and really resonated with me. And it kind of I was really blown away with how powerful I found that. So I think I guess I'm trying to see this as like an invitation um, to think differently about things, and kind of, and a bit of a kind of, a bit like a bit of a sign from the universe to sort of slow down a bit and try things and be more mindful about stuff. But I don't know. Anyway, so I guess my question is, yeah, is it possible to fully reverse prolapses, if that makes sense? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I got your question. It's a common one.
Mm.
And yes is my answer. I mean, for myself, if I look with a mirror, I cannot see any sign of any prolapse. And mine, like the prolapse that I was experiencing, was coming out of the vaginal opening at the time when it was the worst. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that you can heal, and the journey will be different for everyone. So that's the tricky part with healing naturally. So, and that's probably why it's like the healthcare system also just give you like, well, this is the solution and that's it, because it's complicated to find your healing journey, but it is definitely possible. So I would say most women go through phases. They go through phases of first having a lot of ups and downs, which I spoke about. They have symptoms, and then they don't have symptoms, and they have symptoms. And this may vary for some, it's a few days, and then weeks, and then a few days again, and then months. And yeah, everything is just, there are different timelines for everyone. And healing does not care about time. I mean, it's our minds will care about time. Like, I've had this now for so many weeks, and why is it not going away? But it's just an expression of the body that it needs something maybe different or new, or for you to do something in a different way. So that's usually the first phase. And then the second phase is more towards like consistent being symptom free. It may be that you feel, many women actually experience like they think something is there again. They feel it's a little heavy, it's something there. Then they go check and nothing is there. And like they are completely symptom free, but still like in your head, you're so used to feel the chafing or the dryness or whatever. So then being more like symptom free, and then usually like after that you maybe like recognize your vagina and pelvic floor more, because you can't see any signs of it at all. Then of course, I mean, we've experienced traumatic things, having pelvic floor dysfunctions in different ways, and they have contributed. So it's not that most women look like they did maybe like 10, 20, 30, 40 years back, the same in the vagina. Like they're gonna look different probably, but they're not going to feel anything or see anything. And to me, I think that's when you really healed. You're not limited at all by your pelvic floor. You're not aware of your pelvic floor. You're not adjusting your life based on the pelvic floor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does. And I think that thing of leaning into the like the kind of the ebbs and flows of it, like you say, is really important, isn't it? And yeah, it really does. I mean, I've literally, I think it's like a month ago now, I sort of found out that I had these things, and I've sort of been brave and tried to have a look, and and I can see, I think both mine are grade two. So I can't say the word, but the bladder one and the rectum basically is what I have. And I guess I'm on this journey at the moment of kind of wanting to get to a place where I feel confident with my body, and sort of, I guess there's that phase, isn't there, of being very angry at your body that it's happened, and kind of feeling quite detached from it, and kind of just feeling like getting your head around it, really, the acceptance part. But I think I'd like to get to a stage where I feel confident to have another baby, and that's kind of where I'm at, is to feel that I can trust my body in that process and not be terrified that it might get worse, and I guess or lose that sense of control, and just trust in the process. That's sort of where I'm trying to head to. But but it's really refreshing just hearing your approach to it, and it really resonates. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had a couple of questions in the chat. Yes, so for anyone being late, everyone will get a recording. I mean, being late, you were not late. I was late. I was in the wrong place. So because I was in the wrong place. Anyway, everyone will get a recording. What are your thoughts regarding types of exercises one can do with a prolapse? Yeah. So again, this is a complex question, I think. And I would never say, you can do this, but you cannot do this. It's not my style at all, because again, then I would be the expert telling you what you can or cannot do with your body. When I believe that the only person who truly knows what your body needs is you. So I can give you my reflections, I can give you some perspectives, but ultimately it's you who need to start trying, start to have a communication with your own body, start listening to your body, and then start to make decision based on the information you have. And I know it can be really, really hard. So I do encourage women to try. If you are longing to do a certain exercise, try it and see what happens. If the symptoms are 100% worse the next day, that's probably a clear sign from your body that maybe you shouldn't do it that way right now. It doesn't mean never, ever again. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. You can probably modify it. But if you don't start that communication, that listening to your body, nothing will change. And yeah, so here's the thing. When let's say like someone who loves lifting, right? Who loves heavy lifting in the gym. She has a prolapse or are experiencing pelvic floor dysfunction, and she gets depressed from not lifting. Like that's her life. I would tell her to go lift the weights. And why is that? Because if she can't do what she loves, that will probably make her more depressed. It will cause more stress on her system. And that will affect the pelvic floor, maybe more than the actual heavy lifting. I would tell her, maybe you can modify it. Maybe you can do it in a different way. You know, maybe instead of standing, you can sit, or maybe you need to be creative. But I think one of the worst situations we can put ourselves in when we have pelvic floor dysfunction is to put our nervous system even more in freeze. Because when our nervous system is in freeze, which means we're terrified in almost moving our bodies, doing anything with our bodies, that will cause stagnation and tension and imbalances, and ultimately pelvic floor dysfunctions. So yeah, what exercises to do? It completely depends on who you are, what you are used to, how your body responds to you moving your body, doing different exercises. What I can say just from like a gravity perspective is that, you know, standing will have the highest impact from gravity pulling on your pelvic floor. So if you can sit, if you can lay down on your belly back or on the side doing the exercises, all of those will be better. And if you invert, if you turn your body upside down, of course, then gravity won't pull your pelvic floor. Also, being in water will be helpful because gravity won't pull in your pelvic floor as much. So there are some guidelines, but I really do think that this is like an experiment for each and every individual to know what the body is capable of today. And then for tomorrow, we don't know. We need to listen to our body's signals if there are any increased symptoms and so on. So yeah. Let me know if you want me to reflect more on that. Ooh, let's see. Where is the chat now? Here. Yeah, maybe you can just turn off your microphones. Oh, what's this? Okay. How do you feel about wearing a pessary to help support while playing pickleball or weightlifting light weights? Yoga is calming after. Your thoughts on hypopressive breathing. Okay, so well, I never had a pessary. For me, I didn't feel that was even something I wanted to try. I've never liked having like a tampon. I don't feel comfortable. And there is a risk with pessary that when you take it in or out, that you pull on the tissues, which are already kind of weak, and they are already being pulled on by tension and scar tissue in your vagina and pelvic floor. But I have heard women they feel saved by pessary. And some women feel like things got worse by using it. So I think it's a case by case. I think if you want to heal naturally, it's important also to spend time with no pessary so that you can listen to the symptoms. The symptoms are not bad if we are trying to heal naturally. The symptoms are the messengers. They are the ones who will give us the answer. So if we can start to look at symptoms like something really valuable, that's going to really help us. And I know it's super hard. It's so hard. And I did not do that all the time. I couldn't embrace or just listen to those extremely hard symptoms that limited my life so much. But we need to start to move in that direction, because that's how we start to listen to the body. And if we can't listen to the body will not feel safe enough to heal. If the body is going to heal, it needs to feel safe. And hypopressives, I love hypopressives. It helped me a lot. I think it's an amazing, amazing tool. It did not take me, it didn't heal me. It's not a quick fix. It's not a silver bullet. It's a long-term supporter. Even after 5 years, I think, was the last time I felt like, wow, hypopressives is still giving me benefits. I could feel from almost day one, I started to feel less wide in my vagina, but still after 5 years, I could still feel the closing and the kind of connection the hypopressives had. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. It regulates the nervous system. It's working your myofascial, so the fascia system with your nerves, with the slow muscle fibers in your pelvic floor. So Kegels, for example, will work with your explosive muscle fiber, which is maybe 30% of the pelvic floor. 70% are slow muscle fibers. You cannot activate them through your brain. You need to do it through your rib cage, and that is what you're doing in hypopressives. So yeah, now I'm not sure. I went into a part of the chat.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi. I have been with Moonrise for a couple of years and can attest to how wonderful you all are. And I love the instructors, and it's been so beneficial, the hypopressives. And I'm mainly symptom-free. I have a question though about do you have any information on pelvic floor dysfunction and its connection to sciatica or piriformis issues? This is something I'm really struggling with. And, I'm mostly convinced that it's what they're calling neuroplastic pain. If you're familiar with that, TMS is another name for it. But basically, it's waking me up at night. And sometimes I'll have like a really extreme symptom of feeling very low when after being, in bed for a couple hours, being woken up from the pain. But then I'm noticing I'm also having the pelvic floor symptom, which I don't have that frequently at all anymore. And it's like, what's going on? Is it just my stress levels are through the roof and it's menopausal? I don't know. I'm like, now I'm becoming like a raccoon because I don't get any sleep anymore.
Yeah,
So.
I hear you. Yeah. That's really a tough one. And again, it's similar to the pelvic floor in the sense that different people need different type of support and solutions for it. So I think if you could email us so we can dig a little bit more into it, that would be, I think, the best way. But
Okay.
all the methods that we have, it's not only for the pelvic floor part, it's for the whole pelvis, which is also like the backside and the glutes and the nerves and in all those parts. So one way to move forward could be to try some other methods out that maybe you haven't yet. But yeah, I'm happy to support you if you email support@moonrise.help.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, now I have found the chat again. Have vaginal lichen planus, skin condition, and doing Moonrise moves from 7 days. Challenge, I guess. Any other help? Well, yeah, I think we are not really focused on the skin, on skin level, but what I do know is that sometimes women with skin issues in the vagina or in the mucus tissue, when they go to pelvic floor physiotherapists, they do work with different types of activation, which is what we have at Moonrise. I've never helped anyone specifically with this one, but I do think that there's many things you could do. Yeah, one thing you can try is vaginal steaming. I think that could be really soothing with the right types of herbs. Vaginal steaming is the same as a facial steaming, but for the vagina. And you need to be careful on how you do it and what types of herbs. I have a couple of videos on that on my YouTube channel, so you could check that out or seek a practitioner, vaginal steam practitioner, if you want more dedicated help. But we do have a program for vaginal steaming on Moonrise platform, but it's more from a pelvic floor dysfunction perspective than a skin issue perspective. What are your thoughts on collagen supplements? Oh, great one. Well, I got to learn the hard way that we need collagen from animals. So I'm very much all for collagen. I am also very much for not being super stressed about, doing everything from scratch yourself. So if you don't have time to, for example, cook your bone broth, which has a lot of collagen, so that's usually what I do. And it's not that time consuming. I just buy like a whole chicken or something. We eat the meat and the skin and everything. The skin on chicken, like skin, eyes, all those things on animal will be very collagen rich. And then I put the bones into water. I boil it for, between like 6 and 8 hours. It's super easy to make your own bone broth, and it will be high in collagen. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I do think that powders, like I'm a little skeptical. I've used collagen powders myself. I take some supplements sometimes, which is in powder form. I'm not perfect. But I do think that the body would pick things up that are more natural, if you know what I mean. Like that are not processed or made in like fabric, like fabric. Is that a word in English? I'm sorry. By the industry. So yeah, that's my thoughts on collagen supplementation. So yeah, I guess supplements like in powder form. That's what I want to say. I hope that was clear. Sorry. It's still people are popping in and I'm
Filipa,
to chat. Yes. Hi.
I have a question.
Yes.
Please, can you share with us if you have in your practice that mindset can help by itself in the strengths of pelvic floor?
Yes. Yes. I have seen women not doing hypopressives, not doing all the things, just through their mind and emotional processing, healing prolapse. There are so many ways to heal prolapse. One time I met one lady who healed prolapse by having like 6 orgasms every day. That was the only thing she did, and she healed it. So I think there are as many ways to heal as there are women on this planet. Was that answering your question, Nelly?
Yes, because I agree with you that you should listen to your body. And very often when my body tells me that don't do it right now, I'm going away. Because I know this is against my mind, against my body. And another one, my question, is it better? I think it's better for sure, but at the beginning for healing, prolapse, to lose weight. Because when I lose weight, my prolapse coming up. When I add, it's coming down.
Yeah, I mean, then you have the answer. Definitely.
Yeah, so
for you. And I
yes,
just
for
wanna,
me,
yeah,
I'm speaking about myself.
yes. And
Because
actually for some,
everybody unique,
yes,
yeah.
And
everybody have a experience more longer, more shorter, and they even my family doctor, I told, how can you help me if you don't know me?
Yeah.
I know myself from my birthday. And they listen me 2 hours about how they should heal people. There is the answer. I don't trust the doctors today. No one. and not want to heal us.
No, exactly. That's the thing too. Like they spend 8-10 minutes with you, and after that, they don't really need to bother.
10 minutes. In Canada, 1 minute. In Canada, in Toronto,
Wow.
1 minute.
Mm.
And I lost time because 25 years ago they told no, don't do anything. If they prolapse more, you come to us and the operation.
Mm.
And I was so busy, and I trust them not more anymore. So you agree with me?
Yes.
If I listen to my body, don't do this, don't even try to go against your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
I like
it
this.
doesn't matter. Like some ladies, they want to do hypopressives 10 minutes every day. And because maybe I have told them to, or some other expert, and they just go all in, like just doing 10 minutes every day, like a machine. They're not listening to their bodies, like really seeing if they have the energy that day or if they need something else. So yeah, that's the key. This is the key to healing. And I just want to add to that about the weight, losing weight or gaining weight. I know both ways. Some women are in your situation. Some women actually, when they lose weight, they get the pelvic floor symptoms.
Really?
Yeah. So, but I mean, that is not necessarily.
Yes, individually.
Yeah, and they don't need to gain weight again to heal the pelvic floor, but you know, it's like things uncovers differently for every person.
Yeah,
And
this is about me, myself. I feel up, not down when I hear.
yeah,
Oh,
so great. I mean, great. Then you know for your body, and that's what's important for you to move forward on your healing path.
yeah, but I did the 150 kegels per day. They told me.
Oh, 150?
Yes.
That seems crazy.
Yes, it's crazy.
I think
And
like
about
30 is the normal number. Even that is a lot, but
I wanted very much to get off these symptoms, so I did nothing. And about the collagen, yeah, I agree with you. There's powders, it's chemicals.
yeah, in most.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I have another one from the chat. Are there any actions one can do with the pelvic floor? For example, engaging the pelvic muscles while lifting or working out? Yeah, you need to know how to breathe correctly. Your breathing will support the most. And you always exhale when you lift. You never hold your breath. Never, ever hold your breath when you lift or when you exercise. That's my best advice. And yes, there are lots of other things. So when you practice hypopressives, for example, you will start to learn your own optimal alignment for the body, which in itself, when you are aligned, when you have a good posture, that the posture will support the pelvic floor. So if you lift with a bad posture, and it's, you know, it can look like you have a good posture, but you're not. That's the case for many women, which have like an arch in their lower back. If you've been pregnant, it's a high chance that you have that arch in the lower back. But there are other things to think about, but those are more like long-term ways, like more like lifestyle changes to support your lifting. I think breath can be super helpful and empowering. Exhaling when lifting. Yeah, that was answering that question. I like doing the hypopressives, and I also like exercises that lift the pelvic floor. Those seem to really help me. The last time I did a webinar here, the person said, don't lift the perineum because it's an unnatural movement. Okay. yeah, I'm not sure in what way lifting means. Yeah, and I'm not sure if there was a question here. So let me know if I should clarify anything. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's me. Yes, there is a
Sorry, yeah.
question. There's a
Mhm.
question. From my just exercises that I've learned from my physical therapist and other people, lifting the pelvic floor, there's a whole hammock of muscles there that on the exhale you can engage them in a lifting motion, and that seems to really help me. But I was told here that no, don't do that. Is your method saying not to do those pelvic floor actual exercises?
Okay. I would never tell anyone to do or not do anything. It's up to you. What I do know is that many women overuse Kegels because of reasons such as have been given advice to do 150 Kegels a day. Like that would be, yeah, that will be too much. And also Kegels, many women only know the tensing part. There's actually two parts of Kegels, tensing and relaxing. But if you are working with the breath, to me, it sounds better because it's more holistic. And then if you kind of activate and you know how to release that and you feel better because of it, great, go ahead and do it.
I'm not exactly squeezing, I'm lifting. Different motion.
Yeah.
So
yes, when you exhale, the pelvic floor will also lift automatically, and you can enhance that lifting. Yes. No, I think, I mean, if the main thing is how do you feel? And especially also over time. And this is the tricky part with healing. So something that maybe gave you it was so good for you for one period, maybe will shift over time and become something else. So we just need to be alert on that.
So you recommend just hypopressives when you feel like doing some, which I do, when I feel, I say, okay, I'm going to do 10 of these, and it helps. I can feel it really. I feel a lot of movement there. So mostly you're focusing on the breath.
Well, mostly this is a tricky question. So because I was like blown away myself by hypopressives, and in a way it's so good to talk about hypopressives because people seem to understand it and it makes sense. It's breathing and it's engaging the pelvic floor holistically and all of that. But after these years of working with women, what I see women need is much more of a healing mindset than having another method. The method itself doesn't really matter as much if you are having a healing mindset, if you are, having patience, being flexible, just thinking differently about how you approach, thinking more about how than what.
Okay.
In general. And especially regarding you and your health and your pelvic floor, and start to listen to your body, which is super hard. I know that. And you don't it doesn't stop there. You need to listen to your body and you need to interpret what the body says, and you need to start to navigate based on that information. So those are 3 super fundamental steps in this healing mindset. And yeah, I've shared more earlier. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's where I feel I've been talking many years about many different methods, and they are all wonderful, and they are all helping women at different points in time, in different phases in life, and so on. But I see the most long-lasting results from the women who have mastered the healing mindset. Does it make sense?
Yeah, thank you. I'll work on that.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to the chat here, and I'm so happy you're staying here. I mean, I'll just answer your question and finish that off, and then I have a couple more things to say after, if you want to stay. Thank you, Filippa. It's always encouraging to hear your faith to heal. Thank you. I have prolapse of pelvic floor stage 3 to 4. Can it be fixed by hypopressive exercise without surgery? Okay, so I think I just kind of replied to that question, but I'm going to make it super clear. Yeah, hypopressives can help. But again, I do think that your mindset when you approach healing will have a greater impact than any method. So yeah, I've not seen anyone heal completely with only hypopressives. I mean, I would love it if that was the case. Like if I could just teach hypopressives and everyone would be fine. But that's not the case. It was not the case for myself too. I started to overdo hypopressives when I didn't get the results. And guess what happened? It backfired and I had worse symptoms from doing more hypopressives. What about scar tissue from an episiotomy 40 years ago and tear with my following pregnancy 35 years ago? Yeah, scar tissue is the root cause to pelvic floor dysfunction. Scar tissue and adhesions. Because what happens, it's not that, you know, we've been stretched and now everything is just weak and falling apart. That's not the case. But I think it's around 97% of all women who have given birth vaginally will have some kind of scar tissue in their vagina. And scar tissue can also appear through trauma, through accidents, and so on. So it's very likely that kind of we all have scar tissue in one way or another, and the scar tissue will start to pull on the healthy tissue. That is what's happening when you have a pelvic floor dysfunction. It's not that it's like loose or wide, or it's the tension from the scar tissue. So yes, working with scar tissue is a key also. But again, if you don't have the healing mindset and you're just kind of going in there and like, I'm going to work with this scar, it's not going to end well. You need to be able to listen to your body and work with your body in that process. I mean, you can also work with a practitioner, but still, ultimately, you need to be the one taking responsibility of what your body is communicating. Okay, let me know if there's more question about the scar tissue. I love your take on healing naturally, very inspiring. This whole conversation is revealing how important the breath actually is in all healing. Yes. And especially with the pelvic floor, because the diaphragm inside the rib cage, when we inhale, the diaphragm moves like this, and the pelvic floor mirrors the diaphragm, so it will move like this. And when we exhale, they will move like this. So every single breath that we take, there's an opportunity for the pelvic floor to move in a healthy way, to be activated and to relax in a healthy way. If we are not aligned or are not capable to breathe optimally, there will be stagnation in the pelvic floor, and maybe even the diaphragm won't move. Even when we breathe, they will sit like this all day. This will cause stagnation. So if we can start to breathe in an optimal way, and because we take 25,000 breaths every day, we have a huge possibility to affect, to have an impact on the state, the health of our pelvic floor. 25,000 times every day. And if we take deep breaths into the rib cage, not into the belly, into the rib cage, that movement will happen, but also with a nice alignment. And that's why hypopressives are just brilliant. This conversation is so helpful. Amazing. Thank you. It warms my heart. And I'm still letting people in. I'm so sorry about the links and the tech. I have stress incontinence, and after doing the exercises for that for the last 3 to 4 months, it is still happening. Any thoughts? what exercises? Is it the hypopressives or Kegels or something else? I think what I hear is maybe are you having this healing mindset in your life in general towards healing? That could be one key. The other one could be that maybe not put all your cards into one method. Like try different ones, try to listen to your body, what it needs. Maybe that method for some ladies, you know, they started out with hypopressives, didn't get results, started with some fascia release techniques, working with the mindset, came back to hypopressives and got great results. So it's just different phases, different people, different, everything is different. We need to be in the present moment all the time and alert. What is the body communicating now? Okay, I think a couple more here in the chat, and then we'll see if anyone wants to speak also. What is the optimum use of hypopressives in a day? It depends. As a beginner, so for the first 3 to 4 months, 10 minutes a day. Otherwise, the diaphragm can get spasm. If you want to do more after that, when the diaphragm is used to this breathing technique, you could do it up to 30 minutes a day, but not more. Okay, what about scar tissue? That was the same question, and it seems like you got the answer, Camille. Okay, great. So no more questions in the chat. Any final questions now?
Philippa?
Yes.
It's again me. About the breathing, did you change your breathing from belly to rib cage?
Yes.
In everyday life?
Yes.
But it's not easy.
No.
It's completely not easy because we almost all breathe by belly.
Yeah, so the common way.
Can you share your experience? How can you change?
Yes. So the belly breathing, two ways in breathing are common: belly breathing or chest breathing up high. And we want to breathe into the ribs. The ribs are here, and on the back side, they go further down. So everyone can try to find the lowest ribs on the back. You see mine ends here. Here's the front rib and here's the back rib. And we need to expand 360 degrees when we breathe. We want especially these ribs to move. Otherwise, the diaphragm won't move like this, and the pelvic floor won't move like this. So for me, I mean, being a yoga teacher, having recommended so many people to breathe into the belly breathing, which was what I was also doing. I thought that was the healthy way to breathe deep. But actually, when you do belly breathing, you're not moving the ribs. And this mechanism in the rib cage, and it's so important. Like, it's the most basic movement in the body. So I used hypopressives, and that was enough for me. I mean, it took time. I think I wasn't able to really fully expand, especially those ribs in the back, until maybe after like 6 months or something of hypopressives. And I mean, I have been a yoga teacher for 18 years. I've been working with breathing. I've been working with my body a lot, but it took so much time because when we don't use the ribs to expand, so in between each rib, we have the intercostal muscles. It's like small muscles in an X shape. And every single muscle and like ligament, which attaches to the skeleton, has fascia wrapped around it. And that fascia over time will be tensed and have adhesions. So once, like, it's so hard in the beginning to even get that movement. But when you start to practice continuously, you will start to engage those muscles and that movement. It just takes time. I agree.
So this is not like from the first time you try and you will get result.
And the thing is, you don't need to. That's the great thing when it comes to healing. And I'm so happy you brought this up because, you know, so many women who I meet, they want to do it perfectly the first time. And I'm like, no, we are so, like in Sweden, we say most women are good girls. I guess maybe that's an expression in English too. Like, we're so perfect. Like, we need to be perfect from the start and doing everything right and correct and just like be there already. But it's the first time we're doing it. And the thing with healing is that you don't need to do anything perfect. You just need to know in what direction you are moving. So when that's the programming that you need. You just need to try. You just need to be aware of those back ribs, starting to try to breathe in that way, and things will start to shift automatically. And we don't, like, maybe nothing is moving here, but just you being aware will make a shift.
So does it mean that if I have a fat in front of me, but I can put my hands on the back of rib cage, I can feel if it's moving or something changed. So I don't need to look on your front without fat and my front with fat. Okay, this is a good point that I can feel by my hands my rib cage.
Yes.
Okay, but we are not perfect. We are not artificial intelligence. Good. Thank you very much. I like to contact you and communicate to you. You are the best, the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Amazing. Okay, so let's move on now, because I think I love the questions. I could stay up all night, actually. I love to talk about this. But I am going to finish up because I want you to know now that, I mean, of course, you, I mean, hopefully want to work with your healing in some way. And we have a lot of free resources. We have, if you go to moonrise.health, we have a tab, like a menu with the free resources. You can click on that. My YouTube channel is there. I have 440 videos. You can start to watch those. It's a great way to start. We have a book. You can download it for free. It's called Super Healers. You can go to superhealers.co. So there's plenty of free resources out there. Yeah, you know, you can always write to support@moonrise.health if you have a question, or, I mean, we are super happy to help. We try to help every single woman who reaches out. Now I am going to go into an offer. So, and I don't want to try like to sell anything to any one of you who may not be interested in buying anything. So you are definitely free to go now if you're not interested in hearing what I'm going to say. I'm so happy that you've been here all this time. And now I want to talk about something that I'm super proud of, which is our 12-week program, Total Pelvic Freedom. So this program, we've been running in different forms for about 4 years, and we've learned so much. Oh my God. And we're still learning. And we have the next cohort starts in August. And I am extra excited because as a red thread through the program, we will have the healing mindset. And I've never done it in this way actually before. We've always, been very focused on the methods. And the methods are so helpful and they are so great. But I want our community and our participants to go all the way. I want every single one to feel that they are capable of healing, to heal. So that's why I am extra excited for this cohort. But in general, you can read more on the website. This is just like an overview. So we have a lot of different trainers who will support you along the journey. We have salons, which is more like deep diving workshops. We also have live classes every day that are shorter so that you can get the support and inspiration and the techniques and go deeper. We, of course, make it based on your needs because we also want you to take responsibility. So we are very engaged with every single participant on what they are experiencing and how they can navigate. You only need 10 minutes a day. If you have more time, that's amazing. It's a combination of live and on-demand support. So, you can do almost everything on demand. But of course, we think that the live component gives a lot into it. And we have a community of women walking the same path. And this, I think I'm most proud of. It's that we have 100% money back guarantee on the program because we know it works and no one has ever used it in 4 years. So I am very confident that this is amazing. The healing mindset will be the focus. And through the 12 weeks, you will get practical hands-on ways to start to integrate what I mentioned here today. And those are just 3 themes or keys to the healing mindset. We have in total 8. And you will strengthen your healing mindset. You will also get methods, you will learn hypopressives and all of that. It's good to also engage our brain in learning new things. That's a good thing. But as a foundation, we'll always set the healing mindset as like the first thing, the prio. We have decided to open 10 spots today. It will close in 4 days. So for 10 people, they can buy a spot up until in 4 days. This is very unique also because since we are starting the program end of August, you will get access immediately or after an onboarding session. We want to make sure that everybody is onboarded very well and prepared for the journey ahead. But this means that you will have access to learn, for example, hypopressives and already have that as a routine when the 12-week program starts, this is also a new thing for the 12-week program. We haven't done this before, but we know that many women get overwhelmed, not only by having pelvic floor issues, but, I always hoped that the buffet I kind of invented for different tools to heal pelvic floor dysfunction would be inspiring. Like there are so many options. Everyone can find something that fits them. But unfortunately, most women, when they start to see that there's so much to do, they get overwhelmed because, again, they are a good girl and they want to do everything and everything has to be perfect and they have the checklist and blah, 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 blah. Just causes more stress and stagnation in the system. So that's why now we are having this onboarding, and then you get the technique that we recommend for you to start with. so that you can also start to explore how is your body responding, and practicing that skill of interpreting the body and being able to navigate based on what the body is telling you even before the program starts. That's the goal for the 2 months. Also, just familiarizing yourself with the app and, tech things as we've all experienced today, unfortunately, just to have time to settle into everything. So yeah, here I said registration closes on Friday 4th, but I realized it was Wednesday today. I think I wrote this on Monday and I was confused. So it's going to be valid for 4 days, not till Friday, so Sunday, I guess. And the price is $1,197. The original price is $1,397. So you get a $200 discount if you sign up for this now. And there's a part pay option, which is split over 4 months. So yeah, I think you have it there, and we are going to send an email with the link, but I'm also going to share it here, just if anyone wants to look at it right away, because as we all know, tech is sometimes not working with you. So I'm just going to paste it here in the chat, and I'm happy to answer any questions about the program right now. Otherwise, I'm going to go to sleep.
Is it program for 1 year?
No. So you have access for 2 months before the 12-week program starts, and then you continue to have access during those 12 weeks. So in total, 5 months. And then you have certain workshops you have access to for 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
And in program, if you cannot be on time, you record it, and we can participate later.
Yes, always.
Is it correct?
I do think it's great to sometimes participate live if you can, but you could almost do everything when you based on your schedule and timing.
And in live, is it 1 hour or less, or how?
Yes. So the workshops that we have, which is with that specific group, the cohort, that goes deeper, they are usually around 1 hour. Then we have the live classes, which are shorter. So they are usually 20 to 40 minutes.
And is it every day per 7 days?
Yeah, we have live classes every weekday, not in the weekends. But it's up to you. You can join live classes or you can watch the replays. And there are many different programs, methods to explore on demand. So whenever you want to.
Okay, so there is 12 weeks and 5 days of week we have every day.
Yes, I mean,
every day working.
If you want to, and in the weekends you also have thousands of videos to watch, which is recordings.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other question?
Thank you very much for today's
Thank
video.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And go to rest, sleep. Thank you, Philippa. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a question now in the chat. Did I miss the workshop? Yes. We will send a recording, so don't worry. It was 6:30 p.m. UK time, and yeah. But we started later because of tech issues, but yeah. You'll get a recording. Okay. Any last question? Otherwise, I'm gonna wish you all a great day or night or just time ahead. And yeah, I hope to see you everyone soon again. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
Philippa.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.